You won't believe what happened when a successful black CEO tried to enter his own mansion and got stopped by fake HOA cops right at his gate. It all started like a normal day. He was heading home after a long business trip, looking forward to relaxing in his beautiful neighborhood. But instead of a warm welcome, he was met with a shocking surprise. A group of people claiming to be HOA officers, blocking his way and questioning his right to be there. Imagine being held back from your own home, told you can't enter by people who clearly have no real authority. The confusion and frustration were real. And it quickly turned into something much bigger. This story isn't just about a man trying to get home, it's about standing up to deception, fighting injustice, and exposing those who try to use fake power to intimidate others. The CEO, known for his calm but determined attitude, didn't back down. But what happened next caught everyone off guard. Within minutes, the situation escalated. Tensions rose, and what started as a simple gatekeeping issue turned into a full-on battle to take back control. The HOA board, who were supposed to protect the community, suddenly found themselves facing serious questions and consequences. We're going to dive deep into every moment, from the confusing confrontation to the clever moves the CEO made to destroy the entire board's false authority. This isn't just a story about fake HOA cops. It's about resilience, truth, and justice in the face of disrespect and lies. But before we reveal how it all unfolded and what the CEO did to change everything, there's one moment that left everyone stunned, a twist you won't see coming. Stay with me, because this story is just getting started. And trust me, you'll want to see what happens next to really understand what went down at that mansion gate. We have to go back a little and get to know the people involved, then the environment they were dealing with. The CEO in this story isn't just any homeowner. He's someone who's built his success from the ground up. Known for his sharp business skills and strong leadership, he also prides himself on giving back to the community. His mansion isn't just a symbol of his achievements, it's a place he's worked hard to protect and improve. The neighborhood, meanwhile, was supposed to be a peaceful, well-run place, thanks to the Homeowners Association, something designed to keep everything orderly and fair. But lately, rumors had been swirling about the HOA board itself. Some residents whispered about strange decisions, questionable fees, and even a few members acting beyond their authority. Yet, no one expected the drama that unfolded when the CEO returned home. What made this story even more complicated was how the fake HOA officers showed up looking official, dressed the part, and acting like they had the power to decide who could come in or not. It wasn't clear right away whether these people were part of the real board or just pretending. But their presence raised serious questions about the HOA's leadership and accountability. The community was left wondering how far these false claims had gone, and if the HOA was being controlled by the wrong people. At the heart of the conflict is a deeper struggle over control, respect, and truth. The CEO's challenge wasn't just about reclaiming his driveway. It was about standing up for what's right when the system meant to protect you starts working against you. As tensions built, every move was watched closely by neighbors and onlookers alike, all waiting to see who would have the final say. The story's next chapters promise to expose even more surprises and reveal how this battle could change everything for the community. As the story unfolded, it became clear that the conflict wasn't just about one man and a gate. There were layers beneath the surface, layers involving power struggles, community trust, and long-standing frustrations. Some neighbors had quietly been watching the HOA board's behavior for months, noticing unusual patterns. Complaints about hidden fees, questionable maintenance decisions, and even whispers of favoritism started to make the rounds. Many felt the board had lost touch with what the community really needed. And now this incident with the CEO was the breaking point. From another angle, some residents sympathized with the board members, saying they were just overwhelmed or misled themselves. After all, running an HOA isn't easy, especially when dealing with big properties and strong personalities. There were also rumors that a small group within the board had been trying to push their own agenda, using their position to control. Who had access to the neighborhood and even influence decisions for personal gain. This shadowy side of the HOA added a complicated twist to the story, making it about much more than a simple gate dispute. Meanwhile, the CEO's experience struck a nerve beyond the neighborhood's borders. For many, it highlighted bigger issues about respect and equality, especially in communities where authority can sometimes be misused. People started asking tough questions. How can anyone feel safe in their own home if fake officials can block them? What happens when the very people trusted to keep order start abusing their power? This story became a symbol of a larger fight for fairness and justice, and it sparked conversations about accountability in every corner. As tensions simmered, the CEO's next moves were being watched closely. Would he find a way to expose the truth and reclaim control? Or would the HOA board's influence run deeper than anyone expected? The answers were still out there, waiting to be uncovered, keeping everyone on edge, eager to see what would come. Next, as things heated up, the atmosphere around the mansion gate grew thick with tension. The CEO wasn't just standing there quietly anymore. His frustration was visible, but so was his determination. Every moment that fake HOA cops blocked his way felt like a challenge not just to him, but to everyone watching. The neighbors, once curious, now found themselves divided, some hoping the CEO would finally take a stand. Others worried about what might come next. Inside the community, whispers turned into bold conversations. People began sharing stories of their own struggles with the HOA, revealing cracks in what was supposed to be a united neighborhood. Some residents admitted feeling powerless for years, unsure how to push back against the board's unfair control. This wasn't just about one man's fight. It was becoming a community-wide reckoning. On the other side, the HOA board members remained defiant, doubling down on their authority. Their fake cops, posing as enforcers, gave an illusion of control that masked the growing chaos beneath. But the more they tried to intimidate, the stronger the CEO's resolve became. It was clear he wasn't going to let this go quietly. The stakes were higher than anyone imagined. This wasn't just a battle over a gate anymore, but a fight for respect, truth, and power. The tension reached a breaking point when the CEO, with calm but undeniable strength, started making moves that surprised everyone. His words carried weight, and his actions hinted at a plan that would shake the very foundation of the HOA board. As neighbors held their breath, waiting for what would come next, the fake officers seemed unsure, their confidence fading. Just as it seemed the standoff might explode into something irreversible. A sudden, unexpected moment changed everything, one that would alter the course of the entire conflict. But what exactly happened? That's the story you don't want to miss. Coming up next, just when it seemed like the CEO was gaining the upper hand, the situation took an unexpected turn. Out of nowhere, a new player stepped into the scene, someone nobody had seen before, but whose presence instantly shifted the dynamics. This person claimed to have evidence that could completely change how the HOA board operated, threatening to expose even deeper layers of corruption and deception within the group. Suddenly, what started as a simple gate confrontation was turning into a full-blown investigation. With stakes higher than anyone imagined, the CEO's calm demeanor stayed intact, but inside, the pressure was mounting. This new twist meant that the battle wasn't just about access to a driveway anymore. It was about uncovering the truth behind years of mismanagement, hidden agendas, and false authority. The fake HOA cops who had blocked him now looked even more exposed, their act crumbling under the weight of this fresh revelation. Neighbors who had been quietly watching now felt the urgency, knowing that their community's future hung in the balance. At the same time, the HOA board scrambled too, regain control. They launched their own defense, trying to discredit the newcomer and paint the CEO as a troublemaker. But their efforts only raised more questions, and the community's patience was wearing thin. The deeper this went, the clearer it became. That the board's power wasn't just threatened by one man, it was at risk of collapsing entirely. As tensions reached a boiling point, the CEO prepared to make a move that could either destroy the corrupt board or backfire in ways no one saw coming. The community held its breath, waiting to see if justice would finally be served or if the fake HOA cops and their allies would find a way to hold on to control. The next moments were crucial, and the story was far from over. You won't believe what happened when the HOA suddenly decided to seize my grandpa's fishing boat. It was just an old, rusty boat, nothing fancy. But to us, it was more than that. It was family history. Weekends spent on the water and memories that go back generations. One afternoon, out of nowhere, the HOA showed up and took it away, saying it was parked illegally. At first, we thought it was just a misunderstanding, but then things got serious. They actually called the cops on us, trying to back up their claim. Can you imagine? The people who are supposed to keep the neighborhood peaceful were the ones stirring up trouble. This isn't just about a boat or some rules written on paper. It's about standing up for what's right, about fighting for something that means a lot more than just property or regulations. My grandpa's boat wasn't just a vessel. It was a symbol of freedom, of simple pleasures, and the quiet joy of fishing on our own lake. But when the HOA seized it, it felt like they were trying to take that away from us, and then, just 6 minutes after the cops arrived, everything flipped. What happened next changed the whole game, and I ended up owning their entire lake. It's a story about unexpected twists, about how standing your ground can lead to results no one saw coming. But this isn't the end. It's just the beginning. In this video, you'll hear about the battle with the HOA, the shock of losing the boat, and how the tables turned in ways no one expected. Stick around, because what happens next will surprise you, and trust me, you don't want to miss how this story unfolds. To understand why the HOA's actions hit us so hard, you need to know a bit about our family and this lake. For decades, my grandpa had been a fixture around here. He wasn't just the guy with the fishing boat, he was part of the community. Someone who always helped neighbors out, shared stories, and kept traditions alive. That boat wasn't just for fishing. It was where he taught me how to cast a line, how to be patient, and how to appreciate the quiet moments. So when the HOA swooped in and took it, it felt like they were attacking a piece of our family's soul. The HOA itself was known around the neighborhood for being strict, sometimes too strict. They had rules about everything: parking, landscaping, even what kind of boats you could keep near the lake. But this time, it felt personal. There was talk among some neighbors that the HOA wanted to control the lake access more tightly, maybe even make it exclusive for certain residents. That's when suspicions started to build. Was this really about a parking violation or something bigger? When the cops showed up, tensions were already high. People were watching, neighbors who knew my grandpa and understood what was at stake. The officers were polite but firm, just following orders. Still, the feeling in the air was electric-like. Something bigger was about to explode. And then, as if on cue, the scene shifted. What I did next caught everyone off guard, and suddenly, it wasn't just about a fishing boat anymore. There were a lot of questions swirling around. How did I end up owning the lake? What did the HOA do that made this possible? And, more importantly, what would happen next? The story is far from over, and what comes after this moment will change everything for the neighborhood and for my family. Stick with me, because the twists are just getting started.